So I just saw a video on here saying that this multiplication table filter has been sparking a bunch of videos, mostly from Asians, talking about how their dads made them learn this and therefore they have some trauma associated with it. And what a weirdly niche thing to stumble across because this is exactly my experience. So my parents, they immigrated here from China, and my dad ended up not completing his education in China because he, I think, quit in, I want to say after elementary school or maybe in the middle of junior high so that he could go around the countryside and apprentice. And he eventually ended up owning his own construction company actually in China. But, anyways, that's a whole different story. But the one thing that he said he could teach us kids, I have two younger brothers, is our multiplication tables. And my parents, they owned a Chinese food restaurant, as in they actually still do own it. But I remember growing up and being in elementary school, and when it came time to learn our multiplication tables, and now, mind you, this is a shared experience between my brothers and I, obviously at different times. So whenever it came time to learn our multiplication tables in elementary, I remember dad would stand us right by where he was doing the deep frying, so right by the deep fryer where he was prepping all of the deep fry stuff for the restaurant, and he would just quiz the shit out of us about what multiplication tables we were doing that day. And I shit you not, to this day, whenever I see any sort of multiplication question, I always actually go over it in my head in Cantonese first, and then I answer obviously out loud in English if that's the question being asked. But either way, it always runs through my head in Chinese first because that's how I learned it from my dad. And I will say it is still heavily drilled into my memory even today. So, I mean, he definitely did get it through our heads. And I'm pretty sure my little brothers are still the exact same. I should really ask them if they still remember all of their multiplication tables. But, anyways, let's see how I actually do with this filter on. 我嘅諗笑，你聽二十八，三經二十七，六鐵二十二，你聽二十八。Haha! So I don't know if that was even fast or not, but essentially that would have been my thought process, except silently in my head. As in, I still go through it in Cantonese in my head before I do the answers for any sort of multiplication tables. So let me know if this is your experience as well, because I swear we all just had the same childhood. It was just different versions of it.